Hi everyone, and welcome to K-Movie Pang. My name is Chris, and we welcome you to join us along for this new project from EduPang. Here at EduPang, we strive to propel education and push boundaries to achieve greatness, and all while having fun. Our aim with this project is to bring quality content to our viewers abroad and show them a little bit more about what it's like here in Korea, and all through movies. These movies left a deep impression on both Korean audiences and audiences abroad, but both for different reasons. Here we believe that if we explain why they left such a deep impression in Korean society, people abroad might understand a little bit more about what it's like here. Here we hope that you gain some insightful information on today's society and today's Korea. Are you ready? Today's first pick is 태극기. For those of you who don't know, 태극기 is actually the name of the Korean flag, and it's made up of two words. 태극, which means the blue and red spiral that you see in the Korean flag, and it means the creation of all things. You can compare it to yin and yang. And ki means flag. For those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, we have a preview waiting for you just now.
In the shadow of the last great war, one family embraced a spirit of freedom and together hoped for a future once long forgotten. Until one day came that would change their lives forever. Now, two men united by a single bond will protect their family, their nation, and each other, and dare to dream of a better day when men of courage can be reunited with those they love. This summer, discover a triumph in filmmaking with one of the most powerful movies of the year. Brotherhood.
The movie is a recollection of Jin-seok's memories, an ex-Korean soldier that fought in the Korean War that divided them into what we know as them now. One day, Jin-seok gets a call from an excavation team that tells them that they had found his own remains. When he visits the excavation site, he sees the bones of a very familiar person, and that's when the story starts. Jin-seok and Jin-tae are two brothers that live in Seoul with their family, but when war struck, it left the family devastated and separated. As the war progresses, you can see the two brothers try to take care of each other, but soon after, Jin-tae slowly starts fearing what his brother's becoming because of the war. Afterwards, the Chinese intervene for the North, and more tragedies start following the pair, until Jin-tae is taken away by the North Koreans. Jin-tae is then later taken and becomes a North Korean soldier. Jin-seok tries to find him, but only manages to find his brother in the war front. At this point, his brother had been so blinded that he doesn't even recognize who Jin-seok is anymore. Jin-seok tries to bring him back to his senses, but only manages to do so after Jin-tae was wounded by a bullet. Jin-tae tells his brother, in a moment of clarity, "I know who you are, but now go back home. I will defend you, and I will meet you back home," convincing his brother to leave. It turns out that in 2003, the body that was found was actually Jin-tae's body that was holding the silver pen that Jin-seok had given him right before the war had started. Jin-seok later kneels down in his brother's remains and recites the promises that Jin-tae had made to him. The final scene is Jin-seok in a now quiet Seoul with no war, reassuring that he'd go back to school, because that's exactly what he promised his brother he would do. The movie was actually inspired by a very famous tribute statue made by a private Seungap Choi. The statue's name is 형제상, which is translated into English as the Statue of Brothers. This statue can be found in the War Memorial in Seoul. The statue shows two brothers, both from opposing sides that met in the battleground. They can be seen hugging each other and expressing forgiveness. The text of the statue reads as follows in English. The Statue of Brothers is an 18-meter wide and 11-meter high symbol of the Korean War. It consists of the upper part, lower part, and inner part. The upper part of the statue depicts a scene where a family's older brother, an ROK officer, and his younger brother, a North Korean soldier, meet in a battlefield and express reconciliation, love, and forgiveness. The lower tomb-shaped dome was built with pieces of granite collected from nationwide locations symbolizing the sacrifices made by our patriots. The crack in the dome stands for the division of Korea and the hope for reunification. Objects inside the dome include a mosaic wall painting that expresses the spirit of the Korean people to overcome the national tragedy and a map plate of the 16 UN allied nations that dispatched troops to the war. The links of the iron chain on the ceiling signify the unbreakable bonds of a unified Korea. It was said that before this movie was released, they had a pre-screen viewing for those people who were actually veterans of the actual war. It was said that most people that attended this event, overwhelmed with so many memories from the actual event, started crying during the screening of the movie. A lot of times, people can understand what these people have gone through. They can know what they have gone through, but they haven't actually felt what these people have gone through and still live through to this day. Some fun facts that a lot of people might actually not know about this movie is that ex-member from the famous boy group TVXQ, Taejung, was actually an extra in this movie. But the funny thing is, he actually can't find the scene of his appearance because of so many action scenes. Well, peeps, that concludes our first episode. We hope you got some insightful information on the landmarks of Korea and the history that made Korea what it is today. Until next time, bye.